anybody die.
Scary.
This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer to Reaction. What I'm looking at today is the official trailer for Presence, which premiered late last week. And I honestly think this is one of the most important horror movies to come out in 2024. Why is that, you might ask? Because despite the profitable nature of horror, heck, Terrifier 3 is the most profitable, unrated movie ever made. But horror is not looked well upon by most directors, I would argue. And in fact, it's where they tend to go when they can't do anything else. Which is to say, it's either where they start or where they end. It's not typically a place where highly renowned directors spend any time if they don't have to. Which is to say, if their careers are doing well and they're at the top of their game, they don't tend to make horror movies. As I said, despite its profitability, I honestly think as a genre, on the whole, it's looked down upon. And that's exactly why Presence is so important. It's directed by Steven Soderbergh, which is important because as far as I can tell, his career has been extremely successful. He hasn't done anything that would warrant what I would call decline in his powers or ability to get films made. He is consistently well received, no matter what he does. And the fact that he's making a horror film, which, let's be honest, Presence is, says a lot for prestige horror. And that's so important. What a studio like A24 has shown us is that you can be successful with horror. And when I say horror, I am once again referring to what I like to call prestige horror. I'm not talking about blood and guts, Friday the 13th type horror, which isn't to say there's not a place for that. Though that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to more evolved, higher brow horror. Things like Ari Aster's Hereditary. Horror movies that are done with very high-ranking actors, that are very well acted, and that are saying more than typically they do.
What's it like?
What's what like?
I never had anybody die.
Scary. And it goes on.
What do you mean?
Like, the world cracks apart. You fall into this hole. And the sides are mud, and you can't get out. You wonder where they are. And you wonder what it would be like if you were there too.
Well, that was the trailer for Presence. And once again, as I've said before, this is a masterclass in what a master director can do. Nothing happens in that trailer. All you see is a camera, be it a drone or Steadicam, moving towards a house or moving through a house. Nothing happens. But, and this is where the master director part comes in, through the use of sound and the way the camera moves into spaces, there's a feeling of intrusion. Just a sense. It's not overwhelmingly anything, but there's a sense of disquiet, a feeling of, as I said, intrusion, a feeling that you're being watched. And it's subtle, and it's great to see because, and I'm repeating myself at this point, but it shows you what a master director can do with this stuff. And I should mention that I used the term prestige horror earlier, and I hate it as a term. There is just horror. Some is better than others, to be sure. Some is utter dreck. Some is masterful. I haven't stepped into a theater for a while. Though if I am going to go into a movie theater, it's going to be for a movie like this. Though what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer into Reaction. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow or buy me a coffee. Peace.